Finally, in New York, the Jets against the Bills. Marty Lyons gives it to Jim Kelly after the incomplete pass. A fight breaks out, and after everything clears, the referee gives the official call. And folks, it was the ruling of the day. Personal foul. We'll pick this up. On number 99 of the defense, after he tackled the quarterback, he's giving him business down there. That's a 15-yard penalty. How about that? Giving them the business. 15 yards for giving it to them. The Jets won this football game 14-13. Marty Lyons had a little cut over the right eye, but the Jets. Finally, in New York, the Jets against the.
Oh, how's that for an opening? That goes back to 1985 with the Jets, giving them the business. Man, we haven't heard a call like that in quite some time. I'll tell you that. That's for damn sure. Greeting, people of Earth, and welcome to the third floor special. Our NFL show, our weekly NFL show. We're 1 week behind, but we're okay. Here's week two. We're recording a little bit earlier than we normally do due to the fact that I really want to listen to Donald Trump tonight on X, which he just announced a couple hours ago. So I figure let me get in here and record this now because God knows how long he's going to go for. But yeah, Trump's on X tonight for all those who are interested. But we're here for sports, and that's what I'm going to do. So let's get into it, man. Week two, how'd we do? How'd we do in week two? Well, how'd we do in week one because I wasn't here and able to record for week one, but I put in week one's statistics. So week one, I was 10-6. And as of right now, in week two, I'm 9-6. But out of those 12, I have 5 losses by the hook. That's right. That little hook at the end, man, that bait that gets you going. I lost 5 of them that way. 5 games lost by the hook, but that's okay. We're looking good. So, yeah, we had the Bills, the Bucks, the Saints, the Chargers, the Packers, the Jets, the Steelers, the Bengals, and the Vikings. And, of course, tonight we got the Eagles. It'll be an interesting game tonight. I think, if anything, it'll be a little edgy, a little nasty. Typical Falcon Eagle game. I wouldn't look for anything too spectacular tonight. Other than probably a decent game. Might be a close game. I think this might be a close game if the Falcons decide to play football. But who knows what they're going to do? And I really don't have too much faith down there. So that's why I said earlier, if you watched my last show, that's why I really don't worry about Atlanta or Carolina. Maybe I should start worrying about the Saints, huh? But they beat the Cowboys. They annihilated the Cowboys. And if you remember, I called it right here. I called that upset. So what are we looking at in week 3? All right, let's look at week 3's lineup here. What we got going for week 3? Week 3 kicks off Thursday night with the Pats and the Jets opener at home. The first game of the year. Give me the Jets. I'll take the Jets and lay 6.5 over the Pats. No problem there. Look for Aaron Rodgers to let's just say most of the highlights come. The highlights of the week will be an Aaron Rodgers clinic. I think he's going to eat these guys alive. I'm going to be totally honest with you. And I'm not even a Jet fan. I mean, I just appreciate Aaron Rodgers as a player, and I know what he's capable of. This is his first opportunity to play in front of that home crowd. And New Jersey will be alive and kicking. The Meadowlands will be on fire for this game. So there's no way the Jets are walking out of there with an L. They could probably put a good pounding on them. They probably will put a good pounding on them as far as I'm concerned. But look for Rodgers to light it up, man. He is going to just look for an onslaught. Look for vintage Rodgers coming through. Like I said, I'll take the Jets at 6.5 all day long. Give me the Bucks. I'll take the Bucks again. The Bucks are playing Denver at home. The Bucks home against Denver. I'll take that. I mean, Baker's looking better and better each week. The camaraderie of the team is coming together. The defense that was questionable at the beginning of the year, which I said is not questionable, is starting to gel. Maybe just a tweak here and there, but overall, we're looking pretty stout. And I like the Bucks going in, and I'll give 7.5 every day with that. I'm going to stay on the Vikings. I think the Vikings are hot, and they're playing good football. I mean, they handed it to the Niners. They handed it to them. They did. They shoved it down their throat. That goal line stance was something else. So I'll take the Vikings, give the 1.5. I'll take the Chargers all day long. I mean, the Chargers ain't going to lose for a couple weeks. They're up against the Steelers. You got to score touchdowns, man. You got to get in the end zone. It seemed like the Chargers kind of laid back a little bit on Carolina. I mean, the score was 23-3 for quite some time. Just finishing up, I think it was 26-6 or whatever, 26-3, whatever. But look for the Chargers to roll into Pittsburgh and come out with the W. Eagles Saints is a really interesting game. Wow. I think what edges me towards this pick was that the Saints are playing home. So I'll take the Saints at home. I'm going to give 2.5. That's usually a home. That's usually the home hook thing. Again, man, there is a lot of hooks this week. I just hope I don't get burned by the freaking hook again. But I'll take the Saints. I'll take the Saints over the Eagles. Next game I thought was going to be interesting. No, it's really not that interesting, man. Look for the Pack to keep rolling, man. See, the Packers had a backup to their plan to go forward with Love last year. So that's why I had a lot of faith in this kid this week. And that's why I picked him. And I'm going to stick with that because it looks like they know what they're doing. So they invested in that. And it made sense to it's like down there in Tennessee, in Carolina. Let's be honest. You start Darnold. Let him go and fail. This kid, you're putting this kid into a fire of a rebuilding team. Your team's rebuilding, man. You don't throw a rookie into that. Put the rookie on the sideline for at least 2, 3, 4 games. Let him see. Donald might, or he could fall apart like he usually does. Who knows? But now we're going to find out this week. So, does that sway me in the pick for with the Packers with their backup? Absolutely not, because they definitely, when they invested in their future with Love going forward, they had a backup just in case he got hurt. Hey, man, look how long Steve Young stood next to Montana before he got a throw. I mean, come on. Sideline is learning. It's learning. Next game is, this is a big game of the week probably, man. Giants at the Browns. I'm going to take the Browns and give 6.5 to the Giants. Hey, Giant fans, there you go. You might be guaranteed your first win because I'm going with Cleveland. Cleveland's home. Giants, I don't even think they have a kicker. The next game is the Bears and Colts. The Bears are a dumpster fire. Wow, they got a lot of problems, man. Starting with coaching, man. Why are you challenging those 2 plays? Dude, really? Who is in the booth in your ear telling you to actually throw that flag? Do you have anybody in the booth? Or you're listening to the guy in the field? Because holy cow, dude, these weren't even close. I don't even think they went through a commercial break on either one. Because they knew it wasn't going to take that long. But what are you thinking, man? What in the world are you thinking? Just terrible coaching as far as I'm concerned, terrible coaching. And the Texans played a little sloppy and still got away with the W. They're still good. They're still good. So give me the Colts over the Bears, and I'll lay the 2. Who cares? Dolphins are done. That's it. See, they had no backup plan for the backup. They have no backup for their start. And they knew this kid was damaged goods, and they still didn't make the right moves as quarterback. Now it's a whole question mark for the rest of the year in Miami. And you know what? To be honest with you, the coaching staff and everybody else, they deserve what they got. Not the 2 who got hurt. That's a shame. But it exposed them. I think you understand what I'm saying. It exposed that Miami coaching staff for what they are. I mean, I really thought that if you're going to put all that into that and you know it's damaged, you got to have a backup. You know, it's not like buying a used car and saying, well, if I buy a used car which has a lot of maintenance to it, I better buy a new one to back this one up. No, you're going to buy the new one and buy a used one to back that up. Come on, you don't do it ass backwards. And that's exactly what Miami's done. It's exactly what Miami's done. It's exactly what Carolina done. Only Carolina threw a kid into the wolves who had no business being like that. Had no business being like that. And they should be ashamed of themselves for doing that. It's just uncalled for when you get into that. You know what I'm saying? Why you got to do that? All right, where was I? See, I get on a rant about guys getting hurt for senseless reasons or embarrassing a player who's probably got a lot of potential, who's now probably going to be looking for another job next year. because they don't know what they're doing, or take the time to mature the kid to play. God, man. Speaking of Carolina, they're in Vegas next week. So give me the Raiders. I'll lay the 7. I'm not even going to. There's no sense of even talking about that game. Ironically, the early line I got on the Ravens Cowboys was a pick 'em, and now I'm looking at the number, and the number has moved to -1 for the Ravens. I already have the Ravens. The Ravens burn me. Well, again, I got burned with the hook by them. So looking at the game, and the line just moved. I have the Cowboys in the pick 'em. And now the line has moved, like I said, to Ravens -1. I'm sticking. I picked the Cowboys. The Cowboys are going to win this week. They have no choice but to win this week. I mean, you talk about an early game being a must game. This is a must game for all the wrong reasons. All the wrong reasons. Dallas is in a must-win situation for a whole shit ton of reasons. How many millions they give them? That's how much they got invested in this. So they better buckle up and be ready. To be totally honest with you, they better buckle up and be ready. But I'll take the Cowboys at home and I'll lay the 1. 49ers, I'll continue to go with the 49ers. The Rams have collapsed. That's what happened. The Ram can't climb up the mountain no more. It's slipping. It needs to retread and get its shit together. And 49ers playing sloppy against Minnesota. Injury bug, beating the snot out of the Jets, which is starting to make it look like not such a beating out of the Jets. Maybe the Jets were just flat that day. So maybe San Francisco has been exposed, starting with the Jet win. You football aficionados know exactly where I'm coming with that chemistry. It's happened before, and we've seen it. So give me the 49ers, and I'll lay the 7.5. Lions are coming out. They're coming out for revenge. Don't get too excited, Arizona Cardinal fans. Don't get too excited. Like I said, they played a sloppy team, man. A team it's stuck in the mud, man. I mean, hey, you put up numbers, you beat a team like that. That's great. More power to you. But I'm just telling you, don't get on any crazy bandwagons. So I'll take the Lions and lay the 3. Kansas City, Atlanta. I'll take Kansas City +5. I'll take the Kansas City referees +8. Jags. I'll take the Jags. I'm going to stick with the Jags. Got burned a couple weeks with them, but all by the hook. I'll take the Jags and lay the 6. The Jags are playing on part of a doubleheader next Monday night over the Bills. That's my upset of the week. Jags over the Bills in Buffalo. That's my upset. And it is 6 points. Now I'm looking at the line. It's -5.5. So I'm in at 6. You want to take day game lines? I don't care what you do. I'm still going to nail all these numbers, man. Once I get warmed up, you'll see it's over. The second game of that incredible doubleheader next Monday night. One game is I got 4:30 and 5:15. I'm on Pacific Standard Time, so that's weird. Okay. Anyway, I'll take the Bengals and lay the 7.5 against the Commanders. I mean, 7 field goals? Is that what they had? 7 field goals? It's like the year of the field goal, don't it? And by the way, speaking of field goals, man, we saw some tremendous kicks yesterday, man. Out of Cincinnati, out of Kansas City. I mean, I'm not big on Kansas City, but I do love a kicker. And that kid, he has got a cannon. Buckner. I think that's how you say it. He has got a cannon. He reminds me a little bit of Janikowski with accuracy. He's got a booming foot, big foot. I thought for shits and giggles, let's get into some over and unders. We haven't done them in the first 2 weeks, so why not start? We'll start in week 3 with over and unders. Jets Pats 37.5 over. Bucks Denver 39.5 over. Houston Minnesota 46.5 over. Chargers Pittsburgh 35.5 over. Eagles Saints 48.5 over. Pack of Tennessee 36.5 under. Giants Browns 38.5 under. Bears Colts 42.5 over. Dolphins Seattle 41.5 under. Panthers, Raiders, 37.5. Under. Ravens at Dallas, 49.5. Under. 49ers, Rams, 45.5. Over. Detroit, Arizona, 52.5. Under. Kansas City, Atlanta, 46.5. Over. Jags, Bills, 46.5. Over. Washington, Cincinnati, 47.5. Under. So there you have the over and unders. There you have the picks for week 3. Recap of week 2, real quick as we did it. What else we got going? That's about it. Like I said, we're a little reprised. I had some more stuff I wanted to add into the show, but like I said, I want to see Donald J. Trump speak tonight. Well, I'm not going to see him. I'll hear him on X, so that's why we abbreviated the show. But we'll probably be back with a show tomorrow, or maybe even later tonight. I'm not sure. Depends on how things go. But we'll definitely be back tomorrow with a show, a little bit more extensive outlook, maybe on more extensive outlook on week 3. We'll get into some Yankee talk, and we'll go from there. But our next big show, which will be coming up, will be the top 5 quarterback and kickers of all time, plus a Yankee tribute to the great Chris Chambliss. And all you Yankee fans, I'm sure you know, if you didn't get to see it, like I did, blessed Channel 11 and Phil Rizzuto were one of the greatest calls in the history. We're going to revisit Chris Chambliss and his career before the Yankees, with the Yankees, and after the Yankees. He was an upstanding, great guy from all aspects of any interview of anybody that's ever talked to him. They say he was an incredible teammate, but not very much is known about Chris Chambliss. But you guys will when you tune into the next show, when we pay tribute to Chris Chambliss, along with the top 5 quarterbacks and kickers of all time. Like I said, you like the top 5 Yankees of all time, you're going to start loving my top 5s of what I got going here. So until next time, people, remember, bowl up, bong up, and then beam up to the 3rd floor. We'll be hanging out in time and space, just chilling. See you. Peace. God bless America, people.